Hello and welcome to Faith with Flavor. You know, we live in a society that thrives off of self-expression. Every day we are bombarded by people posting the ins and outs of their lives for the world to see. But when is social media too much? Today, on a very special segment of Candid Confessions, we will discuss the pressures of social media and how to balance life outside of the small screen. But first, in honor of National Dog Day, I created a video all about my beautiful pet, Samson, who is named after the Bible, Samson in the Bible. Get to know a little bit about him in my Samson blog. Take a look. Hey guys, welcome back to Faith with Flavor. I am so excited that you tuned in today. Today I have a very special vlog for you, in honor of National Dog Day. I wanted to introduce you to the dog that is a part of our family now, and his name is Samson, and here he is. And Samson is a pitty. He's a pit bull. We got him when he was about 6 weeks old, and he was a gift that my husband gave me for Valentine's Day, so he means a lot to me. He's an awesome dog, and breaks all of the stereotypes that anybody would have on a pitty. He weighs about 62 pounds right now, as you can see. He's a pretty big dog, but he is just so awesome and amazing. And yes, we did name him Samson after the Bible, and he's got that same energy like Samson in the Bible. That strength that Samson had, he has as well. I'm gonna show you a little clip of when he goes to play. He grabs onto this tree branch and he just holds on for dear life and doesn't let go. Take a look at this.
Right there.
If you know the story about Samson, Samson lost his powers because of, Delilah. And so we always joke and we say that Samson needs a Delilah, even though I don't really like that name because of the story. In the Bible, it was kind of mean what she did. Samson, what are you doing, baby? Love you. Samson loves to play. He loves to go with my husband, and he throws the ball and he grabs it. He also loves to do the tree branch thing that you just saw. And he also loves treats. Don't you, Samson? You love treats? You want a treat? Look, we're here, we're here. Good boy. You're a good boy. I love you. He also loves children. Every time I have my nieces and my nephew over, he goes bananas over them. And anytime we have any sort of guest at the house, he is just so in love. And he jumps and plays, and he's just so excited. His tail keeps wagging. And come here, they want to see you. Look, look. Look, look, look at the camera. Look, look. Oh, you're such a good boy. Yes, you are. You're such a good boy. I just love you so much. Most of all, he loves giving Mama kisses. Show him how you give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Samson, give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Kiss, Mama. Kiss. He's being a little stubborn right now. Kiss. Good boy. Good boy. He's a good boy. And, I love this dog so much. He has made our lives so much better just by the joy that he has. Every time I come home from work, he greets me, his tail's wagging, and he's so excited to see me. It's this amazing unconditional love that he gives that anybody that has a pet, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And it's truly amazing how the pet, like Samson. Samson, come here. Hold on, let me go get him. Samson, come up. Good boy. He's a good boy. Yes, he is. He's a good boy. It's so amazing how a pet can become a part of your family, and I just can't imagine my life without him. He's just the best thing ever, and I don't have any kids, but I treat him like he is my child. So I hope you enjoyed this short little vlog, getting to know a little bit about me and my beautiful dog that I love so much, Samson Bear. Some of the nicknames that we use for him is Samson Bear, of course Sam, we love calling him Sam, and yeah, that's about it. So I will see you on my next vlog. Thank you so much for watching.
I really hope you enjoyed getting to know a little bit about my pet Samson that I love so very much. And without further ado, today we are talking about social media pressures and how to handle them. And I'm here today with my amazing panel. Ladies, welcome back to Candid Confessions. Why don't we have each one introduce yourselves for our guests. We'll start with Allie since she's the newbie of the bunch.
Great, yes. My name is Allie Joy and I'm from the East Coast and I've been living out here for the past 8 years. So I'm, I guess, a California girl now.
Awesome. And what do you do, Allie?
I work at New Song Church. I oversee all the small groups and have a lot of fun doing it. So
awesome.
Wow.
Well, hi, I'm Shanna Ruff. My husband and I are campus pastors at Free Chapel here in Irvine, and we have 2 wonderful children, and we love California. But we're from Georgia, but we love California.
Awesome.
I'm Teresa Alvarado. I pastor a church in the city of Santa Ana called the Life Center. I have a total of 6 kids altogether, his, mine, and ours. And I'm really happy to be here today.
Thank you. Happy to have you. And over here?
I'm Amy Mitchell, and I'm a vlogger. I'm also a mother of a 4-year-old now who just turned 4 and about to have another one soon in a few weeks.
Baby boy.
Baby boy.
Can't wait.
We're done. We're done. We have our pair. I'm also the worship leader at my church in Long Beach, Hillsong, or not Hillsong, his place. Those H's kind of get. Excuse me, I have pregnancy brain, so there's a lot of words swimming in my head right now.
Okay, we forgive you.
Thank you. So yeah, I'm very honored. Every time I'm honored to come here, Donna.
Awesome, and I'm honored to have you too.
Thank you.
Now, so today, ladies, we're talking about the pressures of social media, but before we start talking about the pressures, tell me, do you love it? Do you hate it? How do you feel about social media altogether? Allie?
love, hate, love, hate.
Love me.
For sure, yeah. Because, in one way it connects you to people, and then in another way it isolates you from people. So I think for me it's both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would totally agree. It can be good for certain things, not so good for other things. So it's that love-hate relationship. Some days I won't look at it for days, and then some days I catch myself, on it all day. So yeah, it's that love-hate.
Yeah.
There was a good part of the time that I disliked it strongly. And
I remember you shared that on the show once.
yes, the last show. And I think that God is softening my heart for it. But I think that, as they said, it's, there's so many good that could come out of it, and then there's so much bad as well. So it's just being wise with your time, right? And not getting, because it's so addicting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're looking for that applause,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, my best friend actually, she had an Instagram account and she decided to completely delete it because she felt that it was taking away too much of her time, and it was just like she said it herself, addicting.
Yes.
So she was like, I'm done, totally done with it.
Yeah. And especially when you have kids, like there's so much that you're being pulled towards. It's like if you barely have enough time for your own goals, and now you've got social media, and if you're not careful, you could waste an hour on social media when you could be working on a project that you're really excited about. So you have to kind of put those boundaries in place.
Totally. And the issues with it, that's what we're here to talk about today, just some of the issues that we see with it. I know for me, being a wife, like you said, being a mother also, it definitely, like, I feel like sometimes I'm with my husband and it's our time, like, to have dinner, to talk. And sometimes he even has to tell me, like, get off your phone, let's have our time.
Yeah.
And it's like you don't even realize that you're doing it, but you're stuck there, trying to see, oh, I have a notification, like, what was that? That's the big issue I see in my own life. What about you, Ellie?
Yeah, I mean, we'll have gone on this like really great date, my husband and I, and then had a wonderful conversation, and then I'm on the phone in the car on the way back, and it's like, hello, he's right there, and we haven't seen each other all day.
right.
It's like, that's quality conversation time that I'm wasting, and I literally have to kind of schedule in like social media fasts into my life for like months at a time, where I'm off and I'm just off the radar. And I will tell you, from that, it is so freeing. Like, I literally feel like, wow, I have more time, and a little bit more thoughtful and on time places. And so it's definitely affected me, yeah.
And before we get into you, Shanna, I just want to say one thing. You know, Candid Confessions is a place for us to really just come and be completely open and really talk about the struggles that every woman out there faces. So, you know, I want you to share from your heart and really just feel like you can be open with us. So, okay, so talking about issues, go ahead.
So last week, Javon and I celebrated our 15th year anniversary last week. And so him with church, he's always there. The phone is attached. I mean, it is like glued to him. And so, no kidding you, I'm like, today, sir, you are going to pay attention to me. When I tell you his phone broke, he could not get a call, he could not get an email.
Did it break that moment?
Did you break it?
Well, I don't know. I'm like, look, I just said, thank you, Jesus. So literally, he was off the grid all day. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how good is this to be able to, like, you know, talk to you and we are engaged in conversation. I can see your face, you know.
You know what, you just reminded me of something. So we just recently went on a cruise, and on the cruise we had no reception.
I love cruises because of that. I do.
And I could not believe like how in tune we were with each other.
Wow.
He was all about me and I was all about him, and we had an amazing time. It really like connected us again.
That's amazing.
Issues, Teresa, tell us.
Who would think that something so, you would think it would be so small that could take up so much of your time? And I brought this, you know, I love, I mean, Chick-fil-A, some props for them, but I mean, some points for them if you say, but it's a cell phone coupe. My husband and I went with our grandson to Chick-fil-A a few months ago, and I seen this sitting on the counter, and I asked what it was, and the girl at the counter said, if you put your phone in there and you keep it in there the whole time that you have your dinner or lunch, it was lunch, in the dining room, then after you're done, come back, show us that your phones are still in here, and we'll give you a free ice cream cone.
Wow.
It's called a family challenge. And I love that idea because, you know, again, we were able to interact with our grandson, we were able to talk, my husband and I, and it took away that, we didn't allow the phones to cause us to, you know, get lost in them and on Facebook and on whatever, and we're able to engage. So I love that idea. I brought an extra one so that I could have it when my kids walk in and have dinner. It's like phones in here, you know. But it's just, you know, it's being creative so that you could save and you can enjoy that quality time with your loved ones.
That's good.
It really is a choice, and you have to put that into your evening. It's sad you have to do that now. But and talking about confessions here, like we have a 4-year-old, and she's in that developing stage where she's learning how to be in a family unit and learning how to communicate. And you know, I used to be a social media director, and my husband, he does social media stuff, and so it's so easy to think, okay, family time can happen another time, and I've got to respond to this. I've got to, you know, even with emails that I get on my cell phone, I'm gonna have to respond to this. But I'm thinking later on, you know, what am I teaching my daughter? What am I teaching her about communicating and what's her self-worth? Does she feel valuable? I'm ignoring her while I'm on my cell phone. And especially men, they're so good at focusing in on something. If they get focused in on social media, there ain't nothing gonna get in there and help that. And so we really have to consistently choose to have that family time and choose to make it a priority above everything else.
True. Now we know that social media is obviously not going anywhere. You know, I feel like every day there's a new social media app or a new feature that you can use, you know, to expose more about your life. But how can we minimize the issues? Allie?
Yeah, I mean, just really quick. So I was raised in the church. My dad's a pastor, and went to Christian high school, Christian college. I was a youth pastor for a couple years right out of college. And then when I took a break from that, I worked at a bridal shop. So for the first time, I was not working in the church, and I saw the real side of women. And I'm like, okay, so they're not bringing themselves to the church like this. And so what I've kind of created on social media, on Instagram, it's called She Is, and it's just a platform where women share every single week honestly about their life, like vulnerable, real stuff, not like the pretty side, but what's really going on. And it's created so much, just like, we're celebrating that because it's okay to be vulnerable. Like, that's a beautiful thing. And so to kind of create that on social media is sort of one way I'm doing that right now.
That's good.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I just feel like, you know, being able to have that FaceTime with women or ourselves and really getting to, I love your idea, but too, still being able to sit and have coffee and take our phones, put our phones away, and just being able to get into somebody's world where they are, you know, and being able to hear them and listen to them, you know, that way you don't feel like you're just a number or a name or a face on a screen. Like you know, you really get in there and you really know who they are. And I think for me that's my main I have a coffee date just about every day of the week, just so I can say, hey, you're important to me. I want to see your face. I don't want to just see you on this device. I want to spend time with you and get to know who you are and know what's really going on about you. And I think that brings the walls down for women to open up and to be vulnerable, because you're in their world.
I think for me, it's setting boundaries, especially at home. You know, like we have this rule where no work emails are allowed to be opened in the house.
so good.
You know, and that was something it was my husband.
Wow.
You know, because we can get so caught up. I mean, especially like with the launch of TBN Salsa, you know, I was just so busy and just so into, you know, this great network that we were building from scratch. But, you know, my husband was missing out on him and I time, you know, so he just said, okay, this is the new rule of the house. We're not going to open work emails. And setting boundaries is so important, not just, you know, with your husband, but with everybody.
Yes.
Just having those set boundaries, like if I'm going to give you my undivided attention, I am not going to allow that phone to get in the way of what's really going on.
Yes.
Teresa?
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think setting boundaries is the key, and just having that understanding, right? And with your family or your marriage or even with your friends, you know, because obviously it just keeps a balance.
Yes.
Keeps a balance.
I really, really think that boundaries is the best kept secret
It is.
in people's lives. And we're so used to not sitting down and thinking about what is most important and how can I protect that with healthy boundaries. We're so used to living off the fly that our culture today is so quick and so fast, and social media doesn't help that much. But when we can sit down and really evaluate that this is important to me, my family, my friends, my goals, my dreams is way more important than getting on social media and seeing how many likes have I gotten and who's responded and what did they say and who was it. So boundaries is definitely big.
Okay, now we don't just want to talk about the bad, we want to talk about the good too. How do you see that social media is helpful in today's society?
I think with ministry, from a marketing perspective, we have such an easy time right now, as opposed to 10 years ago, 15 years ago, being able to reach as many people for ministry or for good healthy mentoring too. We have an opportunity to reach a lot of people.
I agree. I agree with that. I use it for that as well. I don't tweet. I don't have a Snapchat. I'm, outdated. It's Facebook and Instagram. But, I like to celebrate my accomplishments, or for me, my kids are my accomplishments. So, taking pictures or my grandson, making honor roll or with the things of God, because I am a pastor, I'm able to hopefully say something that's going to have some substance, and that's going to help somebody think about whatever it is that I say, not just just something random, but really make what I say meaningful.
Yes.
And hopefully it will help them in, somebody posted something yesterday and they said, you have $5 and pick, $3 is, if you have $5 and you have a chance to buy a man, so to speak. $3 is going to cost you if you want a man that's funny or handsome and all these other things. And I just put, you forgot to put man of God. And then I just kind of listed the qualities of a man of God. And so yeah, I went against the grain at that moment, but they liked what I had to say because you know, it was different.
Yeah, and you know what I love about it is being able to connect with people, like people that you don't even know. I mean, like you said, we have a platform, and as the light of Christ, we need to shine. And what better way than through social media, which is what everybody's using nowadays. But being able to connect with the people that watch Faith with Flavor, the people that watch Candid Confessions, you know, that I would normally not get to connect with because they might live on the other side of the world or the country. That is a huge benefit. Or even my friends, you know, the friends that live far away, you know, that are friends with me on Facebook. I just love that connection component of it.
I can remember how I started with Facebook was the sheer fact that we moved from Georgia to California. And so being able to share pictures of my kids growing up and, you know, just family, us staying connected that way, to see those little special moments, for me, that means the world to my family and friends, to be able to see the children and to see what we're doing. And so that's how I think it's good in that sense. You know, I can post a picture and they can see my son play football or whatever it is. So that's really how I got on social media. That was the vehicle for that for me. So.
Yeah, and I think it's positive in the sense that it provides a platform for creative expression. So you can create kind of fun things on your social media, and God made us to create. He created us in this whole world, and so I think that it can be beautiful if we do it unto the Lord, and like you said, Donna, just to shine, and it's an amazing thing.
You know, now there's also this thing about social media where everybody's posting their lives, you know, and how do we not fall victims of the comparison trap, which I think we can all say we've all been guilty of that one time or another.
Well, I think we were sharing backstage and just saying that in 2 Corinthians it says, Paul says that when we compare ourselves among ourselves, we're not wise, or we're a fool when we compare ourselves among ourselves. And I think a lot of times what happens with that is being confident in who you are in Christ and knowing you're His and His alone, that helps us not to get caught in that trap of, oh my gosh, well, I looked on this page and her husband got her this, or they went there, or I don't have the purse, or I don't have the shoes. But if you know who you are, we don't have to hate. We can celebrate. You know what I'm saying?
So
we can
good.
celebrate. And I think it's so key in staying in our own lane. You know, we're running a race. But if you watch the Olympics, track was my thing. If you watch how those track runners, if they stay in their lane and do what they're supposed to do in that race, they get to the end. But what happens when another team looks over or steps out of their lane? They're disqualified. So we don't compare. If we stop trying to have what Becky has or Susie has, and just be okay with what God has given Shanna to have and to do what God has called Shanna to do, that's how we make it. That's how we get there.
So good.
Yeah, that's so true. And as she said, we were talking about this, and we both agreed that, you know, your confidence has to be rooted. It has to be rooted and grounded in Christ. It has to be. And we can never compare ourselves, our valley lows, to somebody else's mountain highs.
That's so good.
You know, we have to know that, yes, we're going through something, and somebody else is you know, posting, you know, again, all their accomplishments and all of the great things, and all that's good, because we need to celebrate with other people. But let's not compare our valley lows, those hard times, those struggles, those things that we go through, with somebody else's mountain highs. You know, and again, that confidence comes from the Lord. That is so good, Sean.
It's like, where are we finding our treasure? It says for us to store treasures up in heaven. And when we compare ourselves to someone else's edited version of social media,
I love it.
Keyword
That's
right there,
edited version. Yes.
we're almost storing our treasures in who they are and what they're doing, when God wants us to value our own treasure that He's storing inside of us, and that we're comparing to God Himself. Comparing is not a good word, but just that He's created something so unique inside of us, and when we compare with someone else, you know, I could compare with you. you know, you're doing some great accomplishing things, but I can rejoice with you.
Yeah.
I can rejoice with you. I can rejoice with you. And when we do that, we build each other up instead of tearing ourselves down.
And when we compare, we're diminishing really the quality that God has put inside of us.
Our
because
value.
Nobody has your DNA. Nobody has your
that's
DNA.
it.
Nobody has yours. Everyone is so unique, and God created us each as individuals that nobody can do what you're gonna. What you're called to do.
That's right.
We
That
all
is
have
so
a specific
good, Donna.
calling that we're called, you know, to reach certain people.
Preach it, Donna. Preach it.
I'm getting hot right now.
But you know, it's so good because I was sharing. Today's her birthday.
Happy birthday!
So she's so young. I says, you know, I'm 51 years old, and I'm telling her that the beauty of when I, you know, as I got older, you know, is being able to have value, to see the value that you have in where you're at. And there's so many things that you just stop paying attention to. You know, let's stop looking over the fence in somebody else's yard.
So good.
Yeah.
So
Or trying to get to, you know, we're not paying attention to where we're at now. We're looking, you know, ahead, 10 miles ahead, you know. And it's like if we were just to be happy with where we're at, you know, and celebrate those things, then we won't be so caught up in looking at everybody else.
Yeah.
Amen.
And you know, again, I celebrate with her, but it's just some wisdom that I've gotten in my older age.
Ladies,
I'll take
it. You guys have just done such an amazing job here today. I am so proud of everything that you guys all had to share. But we're running out of time, and we actually have a baby coming to us very soon. So we wanted to honor the baby on behalf of the TV and Salsa family. I just wanted to give you this as a little gift for
the baby boy.
baby boy. Just to let you know that we love you and we appreciate you, and thank you for being a part of Candid Confession. Love you. Yes, so you know, I really felt like, you know, we needed to do this because there's so many women who fall into that trap of comparison. And social media it's not going anywhere, but we need to know how to take it as a woman of God, you know. So I just want to thank you guys so much for being here with me. Thank you for being a part of what God is doing. And thank you so much for watching Faith with Flavor. If you were blessed by today's show, please email us your comments, questions, or concerns. We would love to hear what you have to say. God bless you. Bye-bye.